for Eldas constituency. I want to speak to a very important player, and this is not only serves as the UDA Secretary General, but also as an Iyala Member of Parliament. And Senator Hassan Omar, you spoke about what will follow at the party once this entire process goes on. You sit at a very critical position as the Secretary General of the party. What does this mean to the ruling party?
I mean, it means that we've made a very democratic and constitutional transition that has been validated by the process of the Constitution, both in terms of the impeachment of the former Deputy President and now the swearing in, which was, I think, given the green light by the court. So I think as far as we are concerned, it's significant for parties sometimes to align with their vision and their mission. I think we as a party had set ourselves to a very robust development agenda. We had wanted to lift ourselves out of the barbs of ethnicity, out of the sheer, divisive and ethnic form of politics. I think to a large extent now we are getting an opportunity to reset and recalibrate our politics, because there was a very toxic and very disruptive deputy to the president.
Well, this is happening at a time when your party, the UDA party, is the ruling party, and indeed many would say then that you have led by showing example that tribalism, regionalism has no place in the country. However, many would ask, how was the atmosphere even in the party? Because it's something you've not spoken about even before this. It had to come from members of parliament to initiate. But how was the atmosphere at the party in terms of the leadership, and what do we expect also moving forward in terms of the leadership changes which you had hinted to previous days?
I think we already have made the transition in the party. There is a former Secretary General who we also had felt that had not necessarily lived to the founding vision and mission of the party. And therefore, we have been able to stabilize the politics in the party and the administrative aspect. We are now in the process of rebuilding the popularity base of the party and doing a robust marketing of the agenda of the party, which is the plan, which is our manifesto, bullet by bullet. So I think to a large extent, this also completes the transition on the basis that we are now aligning the party, the leadership, and the government to one common sense of vision.
That popularity that you are speaking about, even as I, in a short while, hand over to my colleague Margaret Kimathi, that popularity of the party that you are speaking about is one thing that right now Kenyans are really discussing. And I would speak about, for instance, the region where the former Deputy President comes from, feeling disgruntled. You had some of his sentiments in church that his region will not speak. They know when to speak. That indicates that perhaps they may be working towards depopularizing the UDA party in the region. How do you intend to deal with this dissent, especially from the people who supported him and or members of the party?
The worst bit about this man is a toxic tribalist. His entire idea was to create division, malice, hatred within his region. I think what he has done is to lead a process where he is trying very hard to isolate the region from the rest of the country. But I can tell you without a doubt, Kindiki, if it is about Mount Kenya, Kindiki also comes from Mount Kenya. But it was not based only by the fact that Kindiki comes from Mount Kenya, but it was based on the fact that Kindiki has exhibited over his political career intellect, moderation, measured. He's quite measured, and he's been just a good human being. So I think what he's trying to do is to create a situation where he isolates the Mount Kenya region. And I can tell you, the president is not going to isolate the Mount Kenya region. The party will not isolate the Mount Kenya region. And there are extremely well-meaning leaders like Kimani Ichung'wah and others who will make sure that the development agenda for the region, as we had committed ourselves to many years at the time of campaigns, will still be delivered bullet by bullet.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hassan Omar is the Secretary General.